Hello. Today I want to share my favorite TV shows at the moment. Honestly, I wasn't much of a fan of TV shows back then. I only started like last year, but now I am obsessed. So that's why I want to make this video just so I can have an excuse to talk about my favorite TV shows because girl. So yeah, without further ado, here we go. Here are my favorite TV shows at the moment. So first, I just want to say that I currently have 6 favorite TV shows, and I'm gonna be sharing them all here in this video. They will not be ranked, by the way. I love them all equally, and I can't choose one that is, my favorite because I love them all. There are special things about it that made it my favorite. So yeah, the first one is The Queen's Gambit. It recently won the best TV limited series in the Golden Globe, so I mean that is already enough to justify that it's a good show. Story is set in the 50s where a young girl named Beth Harmon, who lost her mother in a car crash, ends up being taken to the orphanage. There, she discovered her love for chess and her love for drugs. The story followed Beth's career in chess, starting from playing chess with Mr. Scheibel, who is a janitor at the orphanage, who taught Beth how to play chess, all the way to her journey to becoming the world's greatest chess player. The show is really amazing. It's binge worthy. Heck, I think it's labeled as Netflix most watched limited series, I think. I really enjoyed it despite having zero knowledge and interest about chess. And whenever the chess scenes are on, I just smile and pretend that I know what's going on even though I don't know what's going on. The performances are great. Anya Taylor-Joy even won Best Actress for Best Limited Series in Golden Globes for it. The fashion is great. Oh my god, I adored Beth's outfits. Beth is definitely a girl boss. She is smart, she is confident, dominant, independent. She is a girl boss. And she knows she's that bitch. And Beth show that you can be a boss, you can be cool, you can look badass while being feminine, while being glamorous. I mean, it was obvious she loves the finer things in life. She loves dressing up, she loves looking pretty, presentable, and sophisticated. And I love that for her. Like, girl, you do you, you've earned it. I loved it. Just like what Anya Taylor-Joy said, Beth didn't want to become the world's best female chess player. Beth wants to become the best chess player, period. Like, gender shouldn't be an issue when we're talking about a person's skills or talent, or abilities. Yes, chess is a male dominated field, but so are a lot of other things, and she's paving the way, and I love that. But I really liked how Beth is often bewildered at how people are making a big deal about how she's a female chess player. Yeah, I'm a girl and I just beat your ass at chess. What about it? I don't know what you guys are blabbering about. I'm just doing my thing. Also, the show tackled Beth's struggles. It showed that you can be the best despite your imperfections. Before achieving the fame and recognition that she had with chess, she had to overcome first her problems with drugs, alcohol, loss, grief, relationship, and failures. And in the end, she found her inner peace. She was able to accept, and with that, she became a winner, baby. Next up is sex education. It's about this lame virgin high school boy named Otis who partnered up with Maeve to build an underground business in their school. The students will pay them in exchange for Otis to give them sex advice or sex therapy because Otis's mom is a sex therapist, so that's where he gets his knowledge from. What I like about this show is it educates the viewers about, drumroll, sex. It is very informative, it raises awareness while keeping the show light and fun. The characters are cute, they're likable, but they also have their own thing. You know, they all have their personal struggles, issues, something like that. So that's how the show tackles these different kind of issues to talk about. All the episodes were, they're fine, they're nice, but there is this one episode that stood out the most to me and made it my favorite. It was episode 7 of season 2, that episode. As a girl, I know how hard it is being one, and this may sound sad, but trust me, most girls, if not all, have experienced being sexually harassed or assaulted or just, catcalled. And in season 2, where Amy was sexually harassed in the bus, and they showed how she reacted to it, they showed how she was affected by it. I personally have experienced something similar to that myself. And I can say that the show executed the situation accurately. I remember tearing up while watching episode 7 when Amy finally opened up her struggles about it. It was realistic, how she was in denial at first, she somehow blamed herself, she was confused, the delayed reaction, not knowing what to do in that situation, and then days later you become paranoid and traumatized. My experience wasn't as physical as Amy's, but mine also happened in a public transportation. And after that happened, I found myself being scared to ride a jeep. It was very difficult because I go to the same jeepney terminal on my way home every day. So there is this very high chance that I might stumble upon those men who did that. And even just riding a public transportation in general was terrifying because there is this possibility that you might encounter those same kind of creeps again. So going home became a struggle. Riding a jeepney became a struggle. For me, it may seem like a small thing because, like, girl, that's just a jeepney, what's there to be scared about? But to me, it was terrifying. Like, I would rather walk my way home. But then walking home alone at night is also scary, so I didn't really had much of a choice. So in that scene where Amy started walking her way to school just so she could avoid riding the bus was very relatable. And those scenes where she didn't want to be touched, she was having delusions, they were all very realistic. I've also experienced that myself. So when the girls, like the rest of the girls, also opened up with their own experiences and they all teamed up to help Amy overcome her fears, that was such a lovely moment to watch. It made me feel like I wasn't alone. So anyway, moving on to the third TV show, it's Ratchet. Anyway, I hope you guys don't mind I have this, bear with me to accompany me while doing this video. Anyway, Ratchet tells the story or the origin of Mildred, who is this character from the novel and movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She came to Lucia's state hospital to work there as a nurse to save her brother, Edmund. Honestly, I haven't watched the movie yet. Sue me, whatever. Mildred is this master manipulator. She will do everything and anything to save her brother. She always has a way to get what she wants. But I think she's also nice. You can tell in the show she's nice. I just think that she's this very caring and loving person, and that she is faithful to her loved ones, and she will do whatever it takes to protect those people that she loves. That's just how she is, okay? So yeah, now Lucia State Hospital is the leading psychiatric hospital, and the story was set in the 1940s. So the treatments, the experiments that were being done to the patients were kind of unsettling. And honestly, I love the unsettling feeling that you get when you watch it. I love the suspense, I love the thrill, and I love the visuals, the production design, the costume, the hair, the color palettes, the color grading, all that stuff, the cinematography. I love it. The fourth one is Dark. It's a German series. It's on Netflix. You know what? I don't even know where to begin in describing this show, but I will try my best. So it all started when two children in a small town in Germany went missing, and as the characters try to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of these kids, they discover these unexplainable things. I say unexplainable because I don't know how to explain it myself. It's just a way too complicated. So anyway, I'm going to show you this meme because honestly that's how I was introduced to the show. Because of this meme, I kept on seeing it like everywhere. So I was like, you know what? Let's go check this show out and just figure it out myself. So yeah, anyway, that's basically what it's all about. Well, in season 1 at least. After season 1, the show just expands and it gets more complex. Basically, it's this sci-fi thriller mystery show that is all about time traveling, and spoiler alert, at season 3 it even involves a different universe, like a parallel universe, all that kind of stuff. It's very complicated, yet it's brilliant. The whole family relationship, like family tree thingy, was mapped out very well. I liked how it had 3 seasons for a reason. Like every season made complete sense to each chapter of the story. Netflix even has this whole site or website where they show the complete family tree of the characters. It also showed the timeline of all the time travel that occurred in the show and how it affected the story. It also has a description of the characters and all that. It's really cool. I was actually supposed to watch it by myself, but it's just one of those shows that you have to give your full attention to, or maybe even takes down some notes because it's just way too complicated, and it has all these like details that you need to keep in track because there's just so much going on. So when I was done with season 1, that's where the story started to become really complex. So I started watching it with my mother just so I have someone to discuss it with. So, I won't have to deal with the craziness of the show by myself because I'd probably go crazy as well. But yeah, I think it's like written really well. It's well acted. The score and the cinematography is amazing. And you know how stories that involve time traveling usually ends up in a time loop kind of ending, but this one gave a really satisfying ending. However, I do think that you can still overanalyze the ending and come up with different interpretations or theories, whatever. But for me, I like it the way it is. I prefer it that way. Like I said, the ending is already satisfying, and I don't want to cause any further headaches to myself. So, next one, the fifth show is Euphoria, which is starred by Zendaya herself. She even won an Emmy for Best Actress because of the show. That's just how great she was in this. Like, wow, we get it, girl. You're talented, and we stand. Anyway, the story follows a group of teenagers as they experience the ups and downs of life. Each character has their own issues. The show tackles addiction, violence, sex, social media, toxic relationships, all that kind of sorts. It's heavy, it's quite heavy, but I do think it's necessary. And it's beautifully written, beautifully directed as well, and it feels very real. And the cinematography, like, girl, wow, they did all these sorts of like camera movements thingy in the show, which was very cool, but at the same time it still made sense to the scenes that we're showing. The whole aesthetic of the show is incredible, not just the cinematography, but I also really liked the makeup, the costume. They were all very extra and iconic, and the whole cast is amazing. Anyway, if you see me like looking here, it's because I have a whole damn script here right beside me. So anyway, my favorite episode is probably the part 2 of the special episode, which was released last January, I think. Yeah, January. It's entitled Fuck Anyone Who's Not a Sea Blob. It showed Jules's POV. It was brilliant, it was well written, it was poetic, the performances were great, just wow. I'm really glad that they did that, because before that I was a bit pissed off at Jules for hurting Rue. But after hearing Jules' side of the story, I was able to understand where she's coming from, and it was nice to get to know Jules a bit more. Hunter Schaffer is not just an amazing model and actress, apparently she's also a great writer, and I just love how Zendaya and Hunter were heavily involved in creating those episodes. It showed their passion for it, how much they believe in the show, and I love it. It makes you like believe in the show as well. Okay, so last but not the least, BoJack Horseman. My phone is like about to go off too, so I have to make this quick. Anyway, yeah, BoJack Horseman. So anyway, first of all, can I just say that this show will always have a special place in my heart. It means so much to me. It's about this horse who is this washed up, has-been Hollywood celebrity. It is comedy. It has dark humor, mature humor, not for kids, definitely. Half of the characters are anthropomorphic. How do you say it? Anthropomorphic animals. So there are a lot of animal puns hidden in there, which is really cool because you have to be like quick to get it right away. It's very witty. Anyway, all the characters were great. They were written really, 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 really well. Oh my god, I can't even stress enough how beautifully written the character arcs were. My favorite character arc would be Princess Carolyn's.
I love you, Princess Carolyn.
Because it's just so brilliant and perfect. I can't even talk right now. If you're a writer and you want to learn how to make a well-constructed character arc, watch BoJack Horseman and pay attention to all of their character arcs, especially Princess Carolyn's. I don't know, hers was my favorite. And yeah, the show is just beautiful. It's art. It's a masterpiece, and I barely label the word masterpiece to anything because I mean it in BoJack Horseman. Anyway, it's very moving. It's inspiring. I started watching the show last year during the first couple of months of the pandemic. So, because back then I didn't know what BoJack Horseman was about. I thought it was something funny and light, and that's the show that I was looking for. But girl, I was wrong. I mean, it's funny. It has funny bits to it, but I swear every time you finish an episode, you just go. You always end up like questioning your life, your existence, your purpose, your relationship with people. Like it's deep, it's deep, it's powerful, it's moving. Half of the characters may be animals, but it's the most human real show that I've ever seen. Like seriously, like legit, I'm not even joking right now. And BoJack is this self-destructive individual who wants to improve himself, but somehow he always ends up getting worse. He is shit. He has hurted people. He is this damaged individual who also damage other people, like the people around him. But you empathize with him because of his flaws. It makes him real. It makes him human, even though he's a horse. And I've teared up to a few episodes while watching the show because of how beautiful and emotional they were. Like they really get to you. Like they feel so personal. And I remember watching the very last episode, I was crying my eyeballs out, not because of the scene itself, but because I knew that was the last episode. That was going to be the last time that I'll ever watch BoJack Horseman again, and all like the memories were just came flashing back to me, and I remember just how beautiful it was. Anyway, yeah, just do yourself a favor and watch BoJack Horseman, but be prepared for what's about to come because it gets deep, girl. It gets way too personal, but yeah, you will laugh and you will cry. Anyway, those were all for now. Who knows, I might do like an updated list 1 or 2 years from now, and then I'll have a new list of favorites. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Pansit. My phone is almost at full storage. So yeah, I'll see you at the next video. I will sashay away now.